What is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Caitlyn is one of the best champions in all of League of Legends right now. She has close to a 53% win rate in solo queue. She's dominating in low elos, she's dominating in high elos, she's even dominating in professional play. And she's just super good. She's so well-rounded, she's blind pickable, she is just completely dominant. And if you want to climb as an AD carry right now, Caitlyn is definitely a champion that you should be playing, or at least be considering playing, or have a strategy to play against. But even with Caitlyn's win rate so high, a lot of players are building her wrong. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about the optimal best Caitlyn build that the pro players are going to do the absolute most damage on Caitlyn to win more games, to carry more games, and to gain more LP. Before we get into this one, I just want to mention real quick that we recently unlocked channel subscriptions, channel memberships for just a couple of dollars a month. You can help support my channel, my content, and myself. If you enjoy my videos, if you enjoy anything we do on the channel, if you gain value from my videos, consider becoming a channel member today. And in return, you receive some member-exclusive, member-only perks that should hopefully make it worthwhile and make it a really awesome deal for the both of us. So again, consider becoming a channel member today. Here we go, getting into today's video. So first up, right now, on screen, we are watching doublelift play Caitlyn in solo queue. This is his challenger account. He's duo with Treat, so he is duo with a challenger level support that's on his team. They have really great synergy. It definitely makes solo queue a lot easier, but he's playing against Bjergsen and Spica. Again, they're TSM's mid lane and jungler, so they have a ton of synergy as well. This is a tough game, and doublelift absolutely pops off as Caitlyn and does some insane damage. Also, Caitlyn is who doublelift played against Cloud9 yesterday in the LCS, where he again did insane damage, absolutely carried the game, and is by using a build that is not the most popular build in solo queue, but I think it is the best one. So first up, we're going to be running through doublelift's rune page setup, all that stuff, and then we'll go through the build and start talking about that. So first up, this is Fleet Footwork, Caitlyn from doublelift. He is taking Fleet Footwear with Overheal, Legend Bloodline, Cut Down. Cut Down is super good. On a lot of AD carries, and then Inspiration Secondary with Magical Footwear and Biscuit Delivery. That's going to be a super good rune page. Fleet Footwear is going to help you just be a little bit more mobile, get that extra movement speed and stuff. It's going to help you stay topped off in lane. It is just going to be a super good rune. It is just going to be a super good rune for Caitlyn. It helps you kite back, it helps you kite forward, it helps you stick to people, it helps you stay on people. It's super good, a great laning rune, and Caitlyn is a great laning AD carry. As far as the skill order, you're going to start off with a point in Q, and then put a point in E, and then W, and then you're going to be maxing Q, maxing W, and finally maxing E, and obviously putting a point in ultimate when you can. In solo queue, most often doublelift is taking flash and heal, but Caitlyn is also good with barrier, she's good with exhaust, she's good with cleanse, and in the right matchups, she can even be really good with TP, but your safest bet in most solo queue games is going to be flash heal. And then finally getting into the build. So right now, the most popular build in solo queue is a Storm Razor into Berserker's Greaves, and then Infinity Edge, and then Rapid Fire Cannon. But a lot of people are saying, and these people are right, that you need to be skipping the Zeal items on Caitlyn, especially early on. You're in your first 3 items that you should probably not be getting a Zeal item. A lot of people are like, oh, but I want the extra utility of like the increased auto range on Rapid Fire Cannon. Okay, well, Caitlyn already has insane auto range. Rapid Fire Cannon auto would be nice, and maybe later on in the game would be good, but your job as AD carry is to deal the most damage. You need to be carrying your team with damage, and the way to do that is with BF Sword items on Caitlyn. She scales really great with critical strike, crit chance, and just straight up AD. She doesn't scale as well with attack speed as a lot of other AD carries, and if you want to be doing the most damage as Caitlyn, you need to be getting the most out of your headshots, and again, that's by stacking up crit chance and straight up AD. So she loves BF Sword items. So the build that doublelift is going, that he's been carrying a ton of games with, and a lot of people are going this build as well, is going to be Infinity Edge into Berserker's Greaves. And then some people like going the Storm Razor second item, but doublelift always goes the Essence Reaver and just skips up the Storm Razor completely. So this is Infinity Edge into Berserker Greaves into Essence Reaver. He likes getting a Mortal Reminder, and then Rapid Fire Cannon, and then Runon's Hurricane, getting some of those attack speed items later on. But the core 3 items being Infinity Edge, Berserker Greaves, and Essence Reaver. Essence Reaver is so good on Caitlyn. You get a ton of AD, 70 AD, feels so good. 25% crit chance, and the 20% CDR. Having that in the mid game for your traps and stuff like that, being able to set up traps for dragon fights, set up traps in lanes for sieges, for towers and stuff, is so good on Caitlyn. I think it's really underrated. But Essence Reaver just in and of itself, even without the CDR, makes Caitlyn do so much additional damage. And part of the reason for this is obviously her passive, which is called Headshot. Every few basic attacks are against a target she has trapped or netted, Caitlyn will fire a headshot, dealing bonus damage that scales with her critical strike chance. So by getting a ton of critical strike, a ton of AD, which makes your critical strikes do more, obviously, and then getting Infinity Edge, which is going to boost up your critical strike chance, that's how Caitlyn's going to do the most damage. And if you've seen a Caitlyn with Infinity Edge, with Storm Razor, and with Essence Reaver, you know that she does absolutely insane damage. Doublelift does like going the Mortal Reminder over the Storm Razor against teams with big tanks. In this game, he's against, I think, a Scion and a Volibear, and Blitzcrank is even going to have some tanky items. So Mortal Reminder can be good, but if they're all squishy, go for that Storm Razor third item, or second item, and then Essence Reaver third, or those are pretty interchangeable as well, depending on if you think you need the CDR or not. But that's how you're going to hit like an absolute tank on Caitlyn. Yes, you're not going to have the Phantom Dancer, so you might be a little bit more susceptible to assassins, but you are already super mobile as Caitlyn. You have your net, you have both your summoners, you hopefully have a support that's helping you out. You have a lot of ways to stay safe. Your Fleet Footwear is obviously going to give you that additional speed boost as well. If you think you need to go Sorcery Secondary for something like Nimbus Cloak to even stay more safe, you always have that option as well. You don't necessarily need to be sacrificing damage to pick up utility in your items because, again, your AD carry, you want to be getting the most damage off. Your Caitlyn, you're a long-range AD carry, you can play super, super safe, and with good positioning, good auto-spacing, all that stuff, you can absolutely carry games, and it starts by having the right build, the build to absolutely just destroy people with your headshots, and it does insane damage. And again, Caitlyn, already one of the best champions in solo queue, even with a non-optimal build with these Zeal item builds. Caitlyn's still very, very good. She has close to a 53% win rate. But the best Caitlyn players in the world, the best Caitlyn players in our region, the best Caitlyn players in just professional play and solo queue, everything, they're going this build for a reason, and they're seeing some insane results. Doublelift is absolutely popping off in solo queue, in professional play, everywhere with this Caitlyn build, and it just does crazy damage. I mean, the damage is just disgusting. Even if they start stacking armor, once you pick up that Mortal Reminder, you can shred anybody. Like, squishies are going to get one shot. Tanks are, you're just going to take a couple of autos. And it's just so good. It's so disgusting. Caitlyn is obviously always a lane bully. She obviously always has pretty decent scaling. Maybe there's some AD carries that outscale her, but she's up there. She has decent scaling. Her problem's always been a mid-game kind of lull as she starts to finish up those Zeal items, and her damage starts to fall off a little bit, but she's still okay, and then she kind of ramps up again in the late game. But with this build, you kind of get rid of some of that mid-game trough. The Essence Reaver, if you finish that second item, if you finish it early enough, you're going to turn into a monster at 2 items, and you're already going to have a great early game. You're already going to have a great late game. You can have an insane mid game too, and that's what makes Caitlyn absolutely disgusting. That's what's pushing her upwards of a 53, in some elos and stuff, in some regions, close to a 54% win rate, which is absolutely insane for any champion in solo queue. And yeah, it's with builds like this, and it can make her really, really strong and really, really good. And yeah, again, she has a ton of great matchups in lane. She fits into a ton of compositions. You know, you don't really have to worry about too many bad matchups, too many bad support combos or team comps or anything that Caitlyn can't handle, can't deal with. She does good structure damage. She does good damage to objectives. She's just all around a great pick. She can even play into lane bullies and be fine. She can play into scaling lanes and be fine. And again, the damage is hilarious. It's absolutely insane. You're going to just be a monster. Every time you're landing headshots, you're just going to be laughing so hard because you're going to do insane damage. And you're going to win more games. We're not just about going for like crazy montage plays. We're trying to win games. And that's what this build will do for you. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this Caitlyn build? Do you think it's the best? Do you think you got another build that's better? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions because there's definitely some nuance here. This isn't, I know I kind of like hype this up as the best build and every other build's wrong and stuff, but there are a ton of people with a bunch of differing opinions. There are other builds. There's other builds that are good. Some people really like Rapid Fire Cannon. Some people really like PD, whatever. It's all personal preference. But again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to update on all my latest content. Consider becoming a channel member today. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.